Hey everybody, Jeff Hunter here, General Motors Jeff from Pro Chevrolet in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Today we're going to look at this bad boy behind me. This is the all-new, brand new, from the ground up 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe, and it's a new trim level as well. It is the High Country. Let's go have a peek. All right, so here it is in all its glory. This is the 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe in a new trim level. Right over here, the High Country. Now, it's not a new trim level to Chevrolet, of course, but it is a new trim level to the Tahoe lineup. So High Country, if you're not already familiar, is the top trim level you can get in any of the Chevrolet products. And you've seen it on the Silverado, and you've seen it in the Traverse, of course, as well. Now, High Country, what are you gonna get a little bit different? So first and foremost, the overall vehicle is different, but when you get into the High Country, you're gonna have some different badging, of course, some bronze accents in here. You're actually gonna have a little bit different leather in the inside, as well as some badging on the inside for the leather as well. This particular one we're looking at right now has the 6.2 liter V8 in it, tons of horsepower, tons of torque, but another new thing for this year is you are able to get a 3-liter turbo Duramax diesel. Now they do make a 5.3 liter as well still, but on the High Country you're only able to get the 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel or the 6.2 liter. Now there is a difference though. 6.2 liter has a 10-speed transmission, yes, but the 6.2 liter now has the active fuel management. So dynamic fuel management. We used to use something called active fuel management, which would drop it from the 8 cylinders to the 4. Now under the hood, what's going to happen is it'll drop it to any number of cylinders needed. So the dynamic fuel management part of me will allow it to run in any number of cylinders, 2, 4, 7, doesn't matter, whatever the optimal amount that it needs to save fuel efficiency and give you the proper amount of power, of course. 22-inch wheels, that is going to be a standard feature on the High Country itself. Now, let's talk about the dimensions. This is a bigger vehicle than the outgoing 2020 model, to the tune of this. First of all, the overall length from tip to tail, we are having a 6.7-inch longer overall length, and then the wheelbase here is 4.9 inches, which I know it doesn't maybe sound like a lot, but it is. And what that translates to is a better ride. And if we're going to talk about ride, underneath there, which you can't see right now, is a brand new multi-link independent rear suspension, which is going to give you a better ride, but it also helps with something in the inside. It helps with more floor room, and you're going to get more room overall in the inside of it. We're going to talk about that when we head to the inside. Now, we've talked about the overall length. We've talked about the wheelbase. Overall height is about 1.5 inches taller, so that helps as well. So again, it is an overall larger vehicle. Going back to the suspension for one moment as well. Again, multi-link rear suspension. You have magnetic ride control on the High Country, and you have the option for an adaptive air ride suspension as well, which is going to allow the vehicle to raise up and down, which is really, really cool, and obviously give you a great ride. Now with the High Country, you're going to get, and the gas motor, the dual tip exhaust. So it's a dual exhaust with a dual tip on either side, okay? Heading back here, we have all the trailer equipment. This one actually has, pardon me, we got trucks driving by here. We have the max trailering package on this one. All right, so it's giving you the heavy duty cooler, and there's tons of trailer tech in the inside. There's even an app to allow you to, run show the lights in the back. You can stand behind the trailer, it'll run a light cycle, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, heading to the back, let's talk about that next. Of course, power tailgate. That's going to be a pretty standard thing, right? On a trim level like this. More cubic feet, of storage. I think if you can remember, in the old one, you'd be probably about here back when you have the third row up. And this one, a little more storage, of course, the third row, and you're gonna have more storage all the way along with this. Let me just drop the seat down quickly. Of course, these will drop down as well. Okay, so that'll drop down. The next seat will drop down as well. So you have storage all the way to the front. But behind every single row, there is more storage, more cubic feet than there was in the previous 2020 model. Now let's talk about size though. Not only we're talking about size in terms of cubic feet, in terms of storage, but the biggest thing, the whole reason we get one of these vehicles is so we can haul more people, right? Or part of the reason we get this. So in this particular one, we have it set up with the 7 passengers. You have 2, and then you have 3 in the back row. Similar to what we would often have. Now you can get bench rows, of course, here, and even in the lower trim levels, you can get bench in the front. So you can actually have it all the way up to 9 passenger. But more often than not, especially in the High Country, you're gonna see it be a 7 passenger with those captain's chairs. But some new things. That back row, again, due to that independent rear suspension, they're able to get the floor a little bit lower, so you have a bit better, your way your knees are setting a bit better, and 10 inches more legroom in the back. 10 inches, that's 40% more than the outgoing model in terms of legroom in the back. That is massive. Not to mention there's gonna be more second row legroom as well. And This seat here will actually move forward and back a little bit, which we didn't have before. It was more of a stationary seat. You can have, I think if I recall, about I can't remember. I think it's at least 5 inches more movement there, okay? Heading back here, obviously you're gonna have all the controls back here. You're gonna have heated rear seats, some plug-ins, USB, USB-C. You're gonna have the controls for the temperature. And unfortunately, we don't have it in this model yet. I'll show you some pictures, but you're going to have the ability, when you get the rear entertainment system in these, to have a 12.6-inch screen on the back of both of these headrests, which you can watch independently, watch together. You can even control, see that navigation up there? You can control the navigation from back here. Not only that, but the drivers can see what the kids or the rear passengers are watching from that screen up there, and they can control it. So if they're watching something they don't want them to watch, or they want to put something on, they can control it from up there. So pretty cool in that respect. So again, more room in the back, which is obviously something we want when we're getting into a big SUV like this. One that can tow, comfortable, lots of power. Now let's head to the driver's seat. Let's go in the cockpit and see what else we've got that's new in this amazing 2021 model. All right, so sitting inside, we're gonna have lots of buttons on this because the safety features are enormous on this vehicle right now. First and foremost, one of the things we could not get in our outgoing model was something simple that we have in a lot of other vehicles, but we couldn't get in this, is the adaptive cruise control. Now we have the ability to have adaptive cruise control. One thing I didn't speak to the front, by the way, and I do apologize, is we do have LED headlights in this as well. And of course you can get the IntelliBeam headlights, okay? So it'll turn the high beams on and off. But IntelliBeam headlights, what that essentially means, or sorry, LED headlights is just going to be brighter. That is a standard on the High Country trim level. So again, tons of safety features. We do have the auto stop start technology in this, even though it is a 6.2 liter. This button here is to turn it off if you don't like that, okay? So what that means is it shuts the motor off. In fact, let's just start this thing up. We'll get some airflow going in through here, all right? Now, see this button here? That's the heads up display. We now have, you can't see it, because, oh, maybe you can a little bit. See that there? It looks bigger in person as well. That's a 15-inch color heads-up display, which you can have different information on your radio stations. You can have, you know, your speed up there, a whole bunch of different information you can have up there, ready for you to see, so you're not having to look down at this area here. All right, so again, heads-up display you can control from there. You have the auto track four-wheel drive system, because when you get the max trailer package, which this one does have, sorry, try to get a little more clear in there, you do get the 4-low range. If you do not get the max trailering package, you only have auto, 4 high and 2 high. In this case, again, pardon me, you do get the 4 low range because it has the max trailering package. There's electric parking brake, that's a little bit different. Heading over here though, some major differences. Look at that. The touchscreen comes up. That is completely different from our inset ones. Now the old ones as well used to be an 8-inch color touchscreen. We are now working with a 10.2-inch color touchscreen, which is pretty awesome. Tons of features with it. Of course, you're still gonna have those Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but cool thing, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is now wireless, which makes so much sense because of this. I can throw my phone here and it's wireless charging, right? Why do I have to plug it in order to have the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto? We don't anymore. What's gonna happen is now I can set my phone here and I can still run my Apple CarPlay or my Android Auto wirelessly. By the way, this charging down here used to be 5 watt, is now bumped up to 15 watt, so it will charge your phone. The wireless will charge your phone faster, not to mention the location. So it used to be up on here. I always thought it was a nuisance. I like to rest my arm on here and it kind of slides a bit. Down here is a much better spot. The phone doesn't move around as much, and it's just kind of out of the way a bit more, right? And they were able to do that because of this. So they've just redesigned this whole area a little bit, okay? Tons of storage, of course, still in here. Now, something else, it's a little bit different. We don't have the slide up screen that we used to have, but we have a little bit of storage over here now, so you can put some things in there. But something else that's new, and I think you probably already noticed this as I've been showing you this. Gone away is the column shift that we used to have, and now is this electric shift, all right? So very similar to what we had in the GMC Train and now the 2020 Acadia, is we have a button shift here. It's EPS system in those TR TRPS. I can't remember the exact terminology of what they're calling this one here now. Shoot, I remember I did it on my Yukon video, but regardless, this is a new system for us. I really like it. It's nice and clean. It's very intuitive, very easy to use. Tons of safety features integrated into that. For lack of better terminology, it's very idiot-proof. If you've stopped the vehicle, you go to get out, you forgot to hit park. It'll, as soon as the doors open, boom, automatically it'll put it into park. It won't allow you to put it into reverse if you're in drive, if you're over a certain speed limit, that kind of stuff. So, a very intuitive, very awesome system. I know it's a bit disconcerting for people initially, but I can tell you firsthand, especially for the amount of trains I've sold, and now Katie has as well, that 99.999% of the customers that have gotten into this really seem to enjoy it. In fact, they almost don't want to go back to the older system. Again, a lot of features in this. Buttons are just basically relocated in some different areas. Down here, of course, in this one, High Country, you're gonna get heated seats, of course, but you're also gonna get the air-conditioned seats, heated steering wheel in this one. With the max trailering package, by the way, too, you're gonna get the trailer brake controller. We now have push-button start, of course. Now, another big thing, though, is right up here. Can't see that right now, but let's change that for you. Where is that? So we just used to have a little sunroof in this thing. Check this out. Brand new panoramic sunroof, which really brightens up the vehicle. And it's just something that we really needed on a high trim level like this, right? As I mentioned from the outside, there is the High Country badging. We have a little bit different stitching on the seats as well to keep into that higher class that this is. Some other things as well, we now have the rear vision camera in here. So that is a camera right now, as you can see, which is really awesome, because if I have, stuff stacked up here or people in the back, that mirror, I'm not gonna be able to see out of the back, right? But now with the camera that's outside, and it actually washes it too, which is really cool. So it's kept clean. It's an HD quality view. You can adjust how much it zooms in and out by a couple settings. You can adjust the brightness of it, all that, the height of it, so you can play around with that. Not to mention, if you don't like that, if it's you find it to be a bit weird, boom, there you go, just back to your regular mirror. So you have both options there. You also have the HD rear vision camera now. Let's see if I can show you that actually, as a matter of fact. And it's a surround vision also. And with the trailer package, you even get like the hitch view and stuff, which shines right down on where your hitch is. Of course, you can line up to it, but it's also going to show you right where your hitch is, which I think is really neat. And then tons of different views you can have on it. Can see in front of you, behind you, and so on. Of course, you can have things still like the safety alert seat, and that's all going to be in conjunction with all the safety features like lane departure, side blind zone alert, front and rear park assist, and so on and so forth. All right, so I think I've covered most of it. The 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe High Country. Of course, if you have any questions in regards to this, you want to come and test drive it, even just come and sit in it. As always, don't hesitate to give me a shout, all right? Message me, call me, email me. But as always, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.